Greetings everyone and welcome to the BlastCast. I am Jarrus, and with me as always is the man who thinks Arma's AI is extremely fair and balanced, Lightning Dragon.
That is absolutely opposite.
He's obsessed with how good the AI is, you can tell. As always, as we get closer to CitizenCon, news is becoming more and more sparse, so I don't imagine this is going to be a long one. And around the verse, they showed off more of the habitation modules and showed off some of the lighting effects and basically explained a bit about how that works and why character lighting is different than room lighting. Pretty basic stuff. CIG showed off their new lockers this week, and what these are for is that when you get a mission to do a pickup or delivery, you go to one of these lockers and you either select to pick up something or deliver something, the door opens and you deposit the box or pick one up. One of the things I noticed about this, which was kind of weird, the screen on the right clearly shows like a pickup or deliver kind of button on there. But when you put your cursor over it, you have to use the inner thought system, which is arranged vertically to either pick up or deliver. My question is, why not just use the screens the same way that we use our MFDs in our ships? Why have the extra step? I don't know, I'm not a big fan of the inner thought system in a lot of regards. It's kind of unwieldy sometimes, but putting it in that situation seems like a bad move. You have big buttons on the screen, just let us push them.
And I'm curious, anybody else, what your thoughts are about this inner thought system? I mean, Jarrus and I both don't really like it. I tolerate it, but I'd prefer to have like buttons or hotkeys.
Yeah, I would agree. Reverse the Verse this week was chocked full of good information about object container streaming. I'm going to go over a few of those highlights, a few of the things that I really thought were interesting. Now, objects are streamed in based on their size. For example, at a long distance away, you might see a planet, but a fighter will quickly disappear when it becomes too small to even be seen, like a pixel or something like that. The game just basically removes it. How this is going to work is based entirely on size. The Idris may not see the fighter drawn in, but the fighter might see the Idris. In fact, that's about a guarantee.
I would hope so.
One of the complexities of this is that they have to trick scanners to see things further than they're actually drawn in, so they have to do some manipulation there, get those two things to work differently.
I can't imagine it's going to be that hard.
No.
Because all they have to do really is just have it where it's still an information blurb, but the information blurb is not telling your game to draw the asset in, but all the information still exists. At least like basic information.
Well, I remember them talking about a while ago when someone asked, how does this work when you have like a sniper rifle scope, binoculars or whatever, and you zoom in and effectively the camera gets moved forward, as imagine is how they kind of described it, if I understood that right, and it'll treat it from that position as far as what you can see. The first iteration of object container streaming is actually going to be client side. The full impact of what the performance is going to be is not really known. The reason for this is that there are too many configurations out there. Everyone's got their own set of hardware and software in their computers. But one of the good things about this is that it will actually free up a lot more RAM on your system. So if RAM's been a big deal, and we've had experience in the last few patches where we've had memory leak issues, this should be one of those things that will, generally speaking, improve performance or at least free up memory for everyone across the board. Now with the object container system, there's no limit to how many objects can be placed in other objects. To me, this opens up some very interesting possibilities. For example, in Helion, when you open a door or drawer to look at a subcomponent, inside that subcomponent might be chips and things that you can replace. There's no reason that they can't do this here as well. So imagine you're taking apart, I don't know, let's say a shield generator. Inside that shield generator, you have a coil. And in that coil, you have other subparts that can be replaced or modified. And this can come in handy as well for future modification systems they want to put in, allowing players to upgrade or modify the way that items work. There are a couple nuggets in this week's Calling All Devs. There was a question is how they're going to make Earth work at a 1/4 scale, and it wasn't fully answered as far as the scaling goes, but from what it sounds like, Earth is going to be one of the later planets, if not the last planet they work on. And that's because, first of all, it's a planet we're all familiar with. They can't just procedurally generate it. That's a given. Also, almost every type of biome they're developing for the game is on Earth, so they need to develop those biomes first. A lot of sci-fi games, when you have Earth involved, they find ways to creatively keep you from going on to it. Either it's a wildlife preserve, or there's only rich people who can go there, they're mega wealthy, whatever the reason is.
Or it's a wasteland.
Yeah, or it's a wasteland. It's going to be a heck of a challenge for them to go ahead and do this. Now, they don't have to be 100% accurate. 900 years in the future, we can imagine quite a few things have changed. For example, New York might be a mega city that encompasses the entire East Coast. I mean, it could happen. There could have been natural disasters. The land could have changed a bit because of that. They can get creative and still make it recognizable. And for those really complex archaeological kind of sites, hey, asteroid impacts are your friend. Another question was, will there be deeper customization of ship interiors other than things like, dashboard decorations like bobbleheads? Now, they did say that some colors will be customizable. Other ones will be more difficult because they're specialized materials made to have a certain color or look a certain way. That one's kind of in the air. Of course, you'll still be able to do your adding of ship names and ship numbers. Changing light colors inside the ships is probably not going to be a thing, due to them being designed with the interior materials in mind. Now, you can set states like red alert and things like that, but not actually outright change the colors.
I hope, now, this doesn't affect me, but I know it affects quite a lot of people. I hope they go with this light system for colorblind people. So, like, red being, like, the most common color blindness, for like a blue or something, or green.
Well, as far as the emergency lighting goes, I'm sure they could change like how it, for example, a red alert might flash a certain way, a yellow alert might flash another, emergency might have a much different flash than that. So they can use that as a point of understanding as well.
Yeah.
They did say that they do want to do things like changing the blankets on your bed and possibly even some of the furniture in your ships, desks, tables, chairs, to have options where you can choose something that's a bit more customizable. So
instead of the rocket ship blankets.
Oh yeah, well, maybe I want the rocket ship blanket. But could be some hope for the 600i Explorer variant owners out there who want to get rid of the pool table and put something else there instead.
Like a hot tub.
Now, if the pool table works, I'll take it.
Or poker.
Poker would be good. That's a good one if poker works. So since we are now officially just a little less than 1 month out from CitizenCon, I would imagine we're going to be seeing Evo Cati either late this week or late next week, somewhere between there. I would imagine they want at least 3 weeks of testing to get everything up and running before they bring it up to the PTU. Alright, so later this week, LD and I are starting a new series. LD and I used to play a lot of Arma online, either through DayZ or through competitive PvP. We decided to go ahead and play Arma 3. It's something we've had for a little while. We have a lot of the expansions and whatnot. We've never actually gotten together to play the campaigns. So we decided to play the new Apex campaign on the new map and see what it's like. Partially because I want to take a study of open area FPS kind of mechanics, as Star Citizen is going to be probably the largest open area FPS mechanic game ever made. So you can tune into that, and we're going to be playing through that entire, I think it's 8 or 9 mission campaign, and you can watch him and I get our asses collectively kicked by the AI, who is the most sentiently aware AI that I've ever seen, who always knows where you are pretty much no matter what. It is weird.
Yeah, there's a good chance that we're going to install some mods to help tone it down a bit.
Yeah, but maybe after we finish this campaign, because we're real close to being done with it by now. We've recorded a lot of footage.
We're about half the way done or something.
Oh, no. We only got 2 missions left.
Oh.
At this time of recording.
Yeah. Take that, freaking time frames.
So stay tuned for that, and if you haven't seen Arma before, the odds are pretty good you have, but if you haven't, it'd be a good opportunity for you to see what it looks like.
Pretty good looking game. Overall, plays fine, but man, the NPC AI is, it's something else.
Yep. I will give you that. But it's definitely a challenge. Alright folks, well that's about everything for this BlastCast. I said it was going to be a short one, not much news this week. And we're going to see more of this drought as we get closer and closer to CitizenCon. Leave your comments down below, questions and whatever. We'll catch you in the next one.
Bye-bye, everybody.